bodies, dead.
Jesus,
Dead
shut it
bodies,
up!
dead. 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 Dead bodies.
What was that?
Don't let this short and sweet review fool you. Supermassive Games is going on a little bit of a heater in 2022. They kicked off the summer with a campy thriller, The Quarry, and are following it up with the hotel horror, The Devil in Me. This time around, you're a group of broke murder doc filmmakers looking to hit it big with their next film. They travel to an island with a replica hotel ran by America's first ever serial killer, Henry Howard Holmes. In an attempt to set the scene, the crew soon regrets their decision as the touristy getaway shifts to a playground fit for a Saw movie.
Shut up. No. Monica. No, please shut up.
I don't want to go into detail about the story specifics, but it is a familiar structure to dark pictures and supermassive games of past. Your decisions matter, and those choices can often mean life or death. The plot and mystery behind The Devil in Me had great substance and intrigue that kept me wanting to explore and discover more truths about the World's Fair Hotel. My favorite aspect of the story is this hotel itself. With moving walls, booby traps, secret rooms, and terrifying audio leaking through the walls, there was always something that kept me looking over my shoulder. Oh yeah, and don't forget about those creepy fucking mannequins, added to the list of inanimate objects that are gonna ruin my nightmares. New to The Devil in Me are some small but effective additions to the franchise. Tool-based puzzles and new environmental abilities are the most welcome changes of the bunch. The puzzles requiring tools were a great addition because it added a little more problem solving via exploration. It felt like a great way to introduce a mechanic that ultimately benefited the player because you often discovered secrets while acquiring these tools. The quality of life improvement with the character movement was my favorite change of them all though. Being able to run, jump, and climb added a much needed human element to the game that was missing in games past. I know it sounds dumb, but if y'all praised Elden Ring for being able to jump, I can praise The Devil in Me for the same thing. The Devil in Me captures what it feels like to get out of a situation by any means necessary. It added tension and fluidity to the movement and how you traverse the environment, and I loved that. Outside of those additions, everything else remains pretty similar to what you know from supermassive and dark picture games. Amazing graphics, engaging dialogue trees, palm-sweating decisions, and everyone's favorite cheap jump scares. The jump scares are abundant, but there's plenty of bone-chilling moments to complement the cheap thrills that it felt like a balanced and tasteful act. My two favorite aspects of this game as a whole are the character development and spatial audio. We all know that our choices matter in dark picture games, but this time around it felt like the tiniest of choices had some lasting effects. Some minor dialogues would derail relationships while others would spark romance. You think you're making the right decision, and bam, you're in full-blown damage control. It was this tasteful volatility that kept the situations fresh and important.
What a stunning performance. You should give up news and be an actress. I was quite moved by all that.
It's not a new mechanic, but I loved how the writing in The Devil in Me gave each character opportunity for redemption or disappointment. How you and your colleagues react to the choices would also affect how they handled higher stressed situations. It's just layers and layers and layers of depth within the characters that makes the replayability an all-time high. My second favorite aspect of The Devil in Me is the spatial audio. My god, does this game sound creepy and gorgeous. Early on, you have a mission where you have to listen through the walls to locate a screaming person. The muffled, directional screams sent chills up my spine as I could feel my heart pound around every corner. The creaky floorboards, the soft clicks of doors locking, the shifting of walls, the helpless screams in the distance. It's a sensory overload that taps into your fight or flight and grips you from start to finish. If you have a good pair of headphones, I highly recommend throwing those bad boys on for The Devil in Me. To be honest, I don't have much to really complain about outside of the occasional texture clipping or clunky transitions between cutscenes and gameplay. It's noticeable enough that I have to knock the score a little bit, but it's nowhere near the levels of something like Sonic Frontiers or Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I loved the story, adored the Sinister Hotel, greatly appreciated the updated movement changes, and couldn't get enough of the audio and character development. There's tons of replayability and only a few technical problems that don't destroy the overall experience. Dark Pictures: The Devil in Me delivers as one of Supermassive Games' best games to date and deserves a 9 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching this review of The Devil in Me. What's your favorite Dark Pictures game? Sound off in the comments, and while you're there, tap that like button. If you want to hit the subscribe button, that would be awesome too. For more reviews, playthroughs, and previews, keep an eye out for new content daily. This is Josh Robinson with Joystick Gamer. Thanks again, and stay gaming out there.